Hello and welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn and my Thursday 10 o'clock live video showing you some cards and some ideas. Today I'm featuring the gorgeous Flowering Rainboots and the really lovely Heart and Home cards and envelopes. Let me show you them in the catalogue. So they're all illustrated in the mini catalogue here, which goes until the end of June. And this is the Flowering Rainboots bundle. Gorgeous little stamp set and lots of great ideas pictured for us in the catalogue. And I'm also using, if I get time to do both cards, using the Sentimental Swirls, this one here, for the little mini card. And that's with the Heart and Home. Now I didn't get the page ready for you to show you the Heart and Home, but 59. Here we go. Here's the Heart and Home bundle, and these cards and envelopes are illustrated. Just there, cards, 20 envelopes for $17.50. Brilliant value. Okay, so we'll start off with this one here first. I'll put that one aside and make that one later if I don't take too long to make this one. Okay, and as I said, I'm using the beautiful Flowering Rainboots stamp set and the coordinating Rainboots dies and the Heart and Home cards and envelopes. So here's the envelope, beautifully coordinating with the card base. Okay, stripes, misty moonlight stripes all around. And I'm also, for this card, featuring some of the gorgeous Heart and Home doilies as well. They come in misty moonlight, cinnamon cider and basic grey. And for my project today, I'll be using the Misty Moonlight one to coordinate with the card and the envelope. So I'll put them aside. And I'll do my stamping first. So inside my card, I have a little square that is exactly the same size as the one on the front. Okay? So there's my square on the front and square on the inside. I just find for making projects for classes, it's really much easier for everybody if I have exactly the same measurements for the front and the inside pieces, and I always like to embellish the insides of the cards. So because the inside of my card has no stamping on it, I can pop that one aside and my Misty Moonlight piece. So these are the two pieces I need for my stamping. Just pop them aside there. Alright, excuse me. So I'll pop these out of my way so you can see properly what I'm doing. And I've got the Happy Birthday. This one is from the Sentimental Swirls stamp set. It's a good basic stamp set. It has lots of lovely elements, and I did do a video earlier on YouTube earlier in the week featuring this lovely stamp set, but I've used the Happy Birthday for my card. So I'm going to stamp that with cinnamon cider for my front piece. Okay, just pop it up in the top right corner there, and I can put that aside, ready for when we're ready to assemble it all together. Just clean off my stamp there, and then while I've got my cinnamon cider out, I'll stamp the lovely terracotta pot from the Flowering Rainboot stamp set twice for inside and outside. And that's it for my cinnamon cider ink. And then I'm using Just Jade for the leaves of my tulips. Okay, just make sure I got plenty of ink on that one. There's my tulip leaves. And I only need to stamp that once because I'm actually going to slice. The die cutting, as you see when I do the die cutting, cuts the whole thing out, and it actually fits perfectly onto the set of boots like that. So you've got one tulip on the front boot and one on the other boot. But because I'm using the cute pots, I can cut them. So that's my Just Jade done for that one, and Poppy Parade for my tulips. Okay, there we go. That's all my stamping complete for my card. This one. Pop that aside. And now we're die cutting, and I'm using, actually before I die cut, I will colour all of these images using a Wink of Stella brush. And what it does, especially when your ink is still fresh, it does blend the ink a little bit, but it also gives it a bit of sparkle and pizzazz. And you see how the colours just blended a little bit to create all over image. I love the multiple shading on these stamped images. They're beautiful. And a little bit on the leaves. There we are. And last of all on the beautiful tulips. You can definitely see the ink blending there because my Poppy Parade ink is lovely and juicy. And here we go. Just wash that off. Okay, so that's my bling done. And I'm using the beautiful, the wonderful mini Stampin' Cup emboss machine, which is on special this month, which is absolutely amazing and wonderful, and you'll never get it. And look, in honour of you today, I've got brand new plates, shiny and beautiful. Okay, I'll pop that on. I'll get out my dies. So I will need one for the leaves, my pot, and my tulips. Look at that, really great. If you have a look in the catalogue, there's some great projects done with that gorgeous bit of detail there. And just before I start this, I'll see if anyone's here. Hey Sharon, it's lovely to be with you this morning. Hopefully you're not too hot. North Queensland has really copped a hiding with the heat this last week. It's just been really awful. We had a little bit of it, but they've just had so much terrible heat up there. Okay. Now, as I've got two pots, I'm just going to run through twice here. And just, I'll watch my... It's always tricky using the emboss machine on paper because it wobbles a bit. Alright, so that and that, and then on the other side for the return run, got my pot. I might have to do it 3 times because I stamped them all so far apart. Back we go. And one more with the tulips. This is such a pretty, pretty stamp set. Here we go. And we're done. I can put my little cute machine away. Fold him up. Pop him over here, out of view, and my plates, and bring back in my project and my card, and look at what I've done here. Okay, so I've got the tulips, 1 pot, 2 pots, and I didn't do that one very well, did I? Luckily, I have my trusty scissors beside me, so I can repair the damage a little. So that one's for the inside pot, and I'll also trim off my tulips as well. There's the inside ones. Just get rid of my sharp edges here. And that's my outside pot, outside tulips, and I am going to do a little bit of extra trimming because I didn't die cut it very well. And I think most of the rest will be okay, those ones there, because it'll be camouflaged by being mounted on white cardstock. So the only one I'll trim a little is this one on the very end. Okay, there we go. All right, let's put the card together. Easy peasy Japanesey. Now, the last thing I have to trim while I'm trimming is my doily. So I'll trim it into thirds probably. All right, and one for the inside, one for the outside, and one for the next project. I just pop my doily on the edge. There we are. That will help dictate where I put my stamping. Another doily on this edge. There we are. Mount these two together. I'll pop this one inside. Overlap my doily there. Okay, put my pot on first. I'm going to take him off the edge there because that's how I like it. This one I'll put actually a little bit of liquid glue over here on my silicone mat so that I don't get mess everywhere. Pop him in right on the edge of the pot there. And some beautiful tulips. Once again with a bit of liquid glue and pop them there. Okay, that's the inside of my card complete. Now, excuse me, the front of my card. And I actually haven't used dimensionals on this card here, but I was just thinking as I put those tulips on that I might add some mini dimensionals to the backs of them. I think they'd look pretty cute, actually. Rightio. So, how much can I go over here? There we are. I think I cut a bit too much on my doily. Snip him off. And there, that's better. Okay. And once again, my pot off to the side. And liquid glue on my greenery, using my silicone mat so that I don't get glue everywhere, because I'm not a fan of liquid glue. I love dry glue. And some mini dimensionals on the back of my tulips so that they stand out above the pot and come to life. There we are. 1, 2. I went all out with the dimensionals, one on each flower head. Okie dokie. And then we can add, but I think very pretty. Okay, that's card number 1. We've got time for the next one. I'm glad it was hot before the storms came. Okay, card number 2 is this little cutie, and this time I'm using the Sentimental Swirls stamp set and a couple of other fun things. No die cutting in this one, but lots of use of a punch. So I've got those ones there, those ones there. Just pop this out of the way. This is the card. Beautifully, beautifully patterned, isn't it? That lovely wood grain. All right, and then we're going to use this extraordinary swirl. He is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Ink up the swirl. And front of my card. Give that a minute or two to absorb the ink while I get a scrap piece of paper from my other stamping. This is actually the instructions I used to create this card for my retreat day. But as always, not many people use the instructions, but they're there if people need them. Okay, I'm going to use this scrap for stamping my swirl again for the inside of the card, because the inside card always has to be pretty as well. And another little swirl down here. There we go. Just Jade Swirls. And again, we'll use the Poppy Parade for the flowers. And the Happy Birthday. So I'll put a couple of flowers on the inside. 1, 2, 3, and flowers now on this strip. And I'm starting from this side, the right side, because I'm going to use the Strawberry Builder Punch to punch out the flowers, and it's always a good idea to look upside down at your punch. And if I start from the right side of the cardstock, it'll be easier for me to feed through without wasting too much cardstock. Okay, so I don't need a huge amount. I'll just stamp away merrily here and clean off my flower. You can see it's been well used with the Poppy Parade, hasn't it? And then I'll also, while I've got my Poppy Parade out, I don't need that anymore, stamp my Happy Birthday. And on this card, because I've stamped my swirl in slightly a different direction, I'll stick my Happy Birthday up here, using the lovely wood grain to help line it up perfectly. And you can see I've got a splodge there, so I definitely need to put a flower there when I'm putting the flowers on my card. Okay, before I punch out my flowers, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before with the Wink of Stella and blend some of the ink just to give them a bit of sparkle and colour. Can you see what I'm... Hopefully it picks it up so you can see the little bit of just a tint, so that they're no longer just a flat stamped image. I'm trying to grab that ink just from the edge of the flowers there where I've stamped it. If I wanted more colour, I could also use my Wink of Stella with some re-inker, or from getting some actual re-inker ink to dilute that and create more colour. But I just wanted to the tint, tiny little tint. And almost done. Rightio. Next, for the noisy punching, noisy messy punching, and I'll punch my little flowers out. So I apologise for the noise. It's easy to line up this lovely flower, which is really great. You should see my desk. I cleaned it up for the video, and now it's become a bit of a disaster. Things flying everywhere. And while I'm punching, I'm also going to punch using the Dragonfly Punch a few little mini dragonflies to add a little bit of love to my card. There we go. I don't know how many. Now find the treasure out of all the shrapnel. These dudes, and clean up all of the crazy bits and pieces. Stamp, stamp. There we are. Okay. Time to put our card together. Got oops, sorry, my envelope over here. Look at the beautiful bee detail on the inside of that envelope that coordinates perfectly with the Heart and Home paper. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'll put my inside panel inside my card. This is obviously one I cut before I changed my blade. So pop that one inside. And now, once again, with the mini dimensionals, pop some little mini dimensionals behind my flowers so that they jump out. Actually, I didn't do it on that one either. But today I'm having a love affair with dimensionals. Obviously, today is a dimensional day. So the first one I have to put on is this one to cover up my little splodge. And just strategically arrange these around. I'm going to leave a little space here to tie my bow with my linen twine. Don't they look pretty? Do I need this one? Oh, look, yes I do, because I made another splodge inside. I might put a dragonfly there. There we go. Now I've got my linen thread. Just going to double it over, fold it in half, and then tie a bow. And pull my tails down. Okay, trim that doubled over tail and add my bow using magical, marvellous, fantastic mini glue dots, my all-time favourite adhesive. It does so many extraordinarily beautiful things. And also with my mini glue dots I'm going to pop some dragonflies on. So first one goes on my splodge on the inside, and then a couple here on the outside. Just a hint of the cinnamon cider so that it coordinates perfectly with my envelope. I have one more, which I'll pop down there. And the last beautiful thing to add is some gorgeous iridescent rhinestones. I have absolutely loved these. I'll just pick these up and put them on the inside of my card. Oh, on the inside of the flowers. Just to add to the sparkle and shine. This is about a celebration, birthday fun. Perfect to go with a little gift. There we are. And I won't put any on the inside, I'll keep that flat. Alright, so, excuse me, there's my cards for today. The little Heart and Home mini card and the Heart and Home standard card and my example cards. I hope you've enjoyed that. I really loved spending time with you. Check back in on Monday. Monday I'll have to do my live at 9 o'clock because at 10 o'clock I've got my team day happening, so you'll have to check in early on Monday at 9 o'clock if you want to see me make another card, which of course you do. I know you do. Bye bye now.